Hello, Graham here again with a little bit more on Bill C-32. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who watched the first video, and thank you for passing it along. I hope you'll pass this one along too. So back to Bill C-32, the Canadian DMCA. As I mentioned last time, the bill needs work, but there's one part of it that absolutely needs to go, and that's the digital locks provision. It's anti-consumer and it does nothing to help artists who compose, write, and create. Now, as a content creator myself, and I won't be so crass as to call myself an artist, I know that digital locks aren't the right answer, and I've got a few more reasons for you today as to why that is. First, these are HD DVDs. Now, you might remember HD DVD from such format wars as HD DVD versus Blu-ray. HD DVD, despite being a pretty cool format, unfortunately lost the war. Now, what does that mean? That means that I paid $900 for these discs that you see here, and because my HD DVD player is broken, I can't play them back on my TV anymore. They're useless. $900 down the drain. Unless I can use the HD DVD drive in my computer to break the digital locks on these files and extract the movie information that I paid for. That would actually let me use these movies on items like my PlayStation Portable or my PlayStation 3, play them back on my computer or on my Xbox 360. So that, under Bill C-32, would be illegal. Breaking a digital lock for my own personal use, and I would be subject to fines of up to $95,000, up to $5,000 per disc. Nearly $100,000 for breaking a lock on something that I own for my own personal use. Now think about that. I'm not selling these discs, right? I'm not giving the content away. I'm just breaking the lock so that I can use them again. Something that I'm doing in the privacy of my own home, and our government wants to stop me. Personally, I think that's wrong, and I think that's a great reason why digital locks have to go out of Bill C-32. The second reason? Well, Heritage Minister James Moore sent me a message on Twitter, and he said that I should buy digital copies. So Blu-ray discs or DVDs that come with digital copies if I want to be able to enjoy my DVDs and Blu-rays in other devices. He then went ahead and blocked all communication on Twitter from me, which I think is a little undemocratic and, to be quite honest, a little cowardly. Not really a great move there, James. So Mr. Moore ignores completely the 500 DVDs that I have that I bought well in advance of digital copies being available. He'd still like me to be a criminal for ripping these and using them the way that I want to use them. Not giving them away to anyone else, not sharing them, not uploading them on the internet, just ripping them and watching them on my own home theater. That should be illegal according to James Moore. But I do have some discs with digital copies, and I thought I would take Mr. Moore's advice and try them out. So I have 15 discs with digital copies on them. Of those 15, only 7 discs actually worked, less than 50% success rate. The remainder timed out in iTunes, or I received a message saying that the coupon was no longer valid. Can you imagine that? Putting a DVD into your computer and having it say that it is no longer available for play. We've actually rejected technologies like that in the past, and I think we need to reject them again. So of the 7 that actually did work, none of them were able to play back on my BlackBerry. None of them were able to play back on my PlayStation Portable. None of them were able to stream to my Xbox 360. None of them were able to stream to my PlayStation 3. None of them would play back on my Seagate home theater. Every single one of these files was restricted solely to an iPod or an iPhone. Now, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense because I don't own those devices right now. And just because I used an Apple Macintosh computer to activate that disk doesn't make a whole lot of sense that I should be locked into one vendor format. So what this says to me is that if I have a Blu-ray disc that comes with a DVD version and I rip that DVD version, I'm then able to use that on my PlayStation Portable. I'm then able to use that on my BlackBerry, on my PlayStation 3, on my Xbox 360. If I buy a product and it doesn't work as well as a quote-unquote illegal version, then the law is wrong and it needs to be changed. So to recap, digital locks will prevent you from using stuff that you have paid for as technology moves on. Secondly, digital locks will prevent you from using your product right now in a normal and reasonable manner. That to me says that the digital locks provision is wrong and that it has to go. Contact your MP and let them know that the digital locks provision is consumer hostile, and that it will negatively affect how much money that you're going to spend on movies and music and books and games if you can't use them for your own personal use where you want to. Tell them digital locks has to go. We can fix Bill C-32 before it's too late. Thanks.